And we are back finally live with the Blame Girl podcast with
Mr. Terry Wayne.
And we have Riley Edwards in the house. What up, Riley?
What's up? What's going on?
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
Horrible.
Okay, you got to elaborate.
I don't know. I didn't do a lot. Well, that's not true. On what was it? Friday. I did Don't Tell.
Fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. Esther Koo was on it. Mike Cintron was on it. And then Danny
Where was it at?
It's a F45 training gym in what is that? North Delray.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a good turnout? They usually pack those shows out.
Yeah, they get them like a lot of people in them, and it's a good time. It's fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what the marketing is, how they do with Don't Tell, the main Don't Tell, and then like the branches or whatever, but they're crushing it. So I just say yes whenever they hit me up.
So you just had a show. Did you do anything else? Did you do anything fun or other than shows?
No, I was gonna go out this weekend, and then I just didn't.
I understand that feeling. Yeah. Terry, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I had a lot of stuff to do. Went to Christopher Priester's funeral down in Fort Lauderdale on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then mainly yesterday was just getting things together.
Well, yeah, since you brought that up, we took a week off because we found out the bad news about Chris Priester, who we've had on the show a couple of times, that he passed away. And it just was just surprising and very sad. Riley, did you know Chris?
I'd met him a handful of times. I think the last time I saw him was Tavolino's, Dougie's room.
Yeah.
It was like
probably
which him and Dougie worked together a lot.
Which shout out to Dougie. He wasn't able to be there, but he did send a nice arrangement.
Yeah.
Even though they called him Doogie Alameda, but it was nice of him to do that.
Yeah. Did you do anything else this weekend?
Actually, the only other thing I did was while I was down there, anybody who knows me knows I'm a big pizza guy, had my own pizza restaurant and love trying it every place I go. And I found the best pizza restaurant in the state of Florida, as far as I'm concerned. And it is right there in Delray with you.
What's it called?
It's called Beats. AHBETZ. Beats Pizza. Yeah, I heard about it from Portnoy.
Yeah, the Barstool review. I saw that too.
Yeah, exactly. The One Bite videos, pizza reviews. He actually reviewed it. He is in strong agreement with my opinion, so I had to go try it out. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty amazing for Florida pizza.
Yeah.
So Beats and Delray. You should try it since you live there.
Does Florida typically have crap pizza? Are we notorious for having shit pizza?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, because it's just
Terry's a harsh judge. Okay, he used to own a pizza restaurant. Just to clarify.
Yeah, and I've had pizza all over the world. So
my favorite spot is this spot that Minda showed me in Delray, and it's always open late. And the name of it escapes me right now, but it's really good too. I've taken.
Yeah, just to clarify, this is not like a late night spot you just call and get whatever. No, this is like you got to be looking for the best out there, and they know it too, which is why their hours aren't crazy. So
now that they did the review, it's going to be like through the fucking door.
Oh, I was there this weekend. The review came out this past Thursday, and I said, or Wednesday or something like that. And I asked them, I said, has it been nuts? And they're like, unbelievably nuts. It was an hour wait when I got there. So,
oh wow.
And that was for takeout, just to take one with me. But it was definitely worth it. We enjoyed the hell out of it.
Nice.
Yeah, you should try it.
Well, I didn't make Chris Priester's funeral, and I'm very sad I didn't. I wanted to go pay my respects. He was one of the comics. I had his number. We would talk sometimes. I'd go down there to his mics and stuff. And it's just such an untimely passing. So I really wanted to go, but I was traveling back from Texas. I've been dealing with some personal issues with my family, and my mother's health was in danger. So I was dealing with that last week, which is why we didn't even have a show last week. But so the interesting part about me traveling was I was traveling from Austin to here, and I went through 2 time zones during daylight savings change. So I was
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about
time
that.
warp. Yeah, I was in a really weird time warp. So all right, let's get started on these flames because I need to let my dog in. He's gonna bark until I let him in. So I'm gonna get you guys going. 1 second. First up, all right, Florida legislators, they want to require bloggers, which I have a blog. I post our episodes to blogs sometimes, but he wants to require bloggers to register if they are going to have any of the legislators as a topic of the blog post. So if you're talking about them, you got to register. Guys, who's to blame?
Just the same right-wing movement that's been going on for like the past 10 years. We're just inching and inching and inching closer to authoritarianism. Because this is some real, I mean, like I've been nervous about some of the things they've been saying and the attitudes that have been going around, but this is some real like Russian, government Nazi style rules.
And at this point, it's like, how do you escape it?
Well,
I'll tell you who's to blame.
Vote.
Tell us who's to blame, Riley.
Right here.
Israel.
Right here.
Oh my God. Elaborate.
That's who's to blame.
Yeah, that's who I'm blaming for this.
Epstein.
Thanks a lot, Jeffrey.
Hey, look.
No, not look. He has to make that connection.
You think that I could draw that back to blogging? Ay.
Okay.
No, about the new regulations they're trying to put in about bloggers, saying if you're a blogger and you're going to talk about the state government, you have to register.
I think it's. I read the article you guys sent me. It looked like it was like so they have to say that like, oh, so and so is paying us to write this article. It seemed like it was like kind of like a move for them to just be like, oh, we're gonna try and pass this because we want to show that we don't pay people to write articles about us. When it's like they know it's not gonna get passed.
Yeah.
But just the fact that they thought it could, you know what I mean? It would be like, I don't know.
I'll say this,
shit's
but
getting
will it
so
always
crazy.
work out in their favor because we'll see where the money flows for real on both sides. You know what I mean? So they're just as exposed by it. And when I found out the money aspect of it, okay, I get that. But it does feel a little bit like the legislators are being egomaniacs. Like, people can write about you. You're a public official, and no, they don't need to be registered. It's published. You can just go read it, It's fascism, like Terry said, it's kind of scary.
Well, anytime you're trying to keep tabs on people who, have a different political view than you, whether that be through some sort of registration or, this is what presidents get impeached for. This is exactly the kind of thing that Nixon got kicked out for, resigned for before he got kicked out, but was spying on his political adversaries. And when it's on such a wide net as just anybody who has a blog, like you said, you have a blog. So if you write something about DeSantis, now all of a sudden you're going to be on the list. I mean,
I've probably written something about him, and it makes me want to just write about him just because.
Well, and they also, to address the money thing, that's just bullshit. That's the bullshit excuse that they give so that they can monitor openly.
It feels like they're gonna bully whoever is blogging about them if it's disfavorable, and it does. Like, I again feel a lot like fascism,
Yeah.
It's not fascism. It's just another inch closer. We're just keep getting closer and closer and closer to authoritarianism. And that's really not the thing that bothers me, because there's a lot of countries that have been overswept with authoritarianism in the last 20 years. But that's not what bothers me. What bothers me is there's a lot of people, and I'm talking double-digit percentages here, in this country that seem to want that seem to want authoritarianism, as long as it's their guy or, you know, their party or whoever. And you don't realize what you're getting into, you know. It's all fun and games till the jackbooted soldiers come out, you know.
I think they should do it for like political officials, yeah. But if they're gonna do it, you know, they should go like the whole 9 yards and do it for celebrities too. You know, I want to see like
Yeah.
an article. It's like, you know, Alec Baldwin actually didn't do anything wrong, paid for by Alec Baldwin, 50 grand.
That's gonna have to be in Hollywood, though. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's some Florida bloggers, but yeah, I get what you're saying on that.
I don't think Alec Baldwin
Very
shot
silly.
that person on purpose.
You don't what?
I don't think Alec Baldwin shot that person on purpose. So.
This Alec Baldwin apologist.
No, I saw and heard all the interview stuff, and I just no. Why? There's some random woman on a movie set.
You don't know what she said to him.
He yelled at a stewardess once because she wouldn't let him play Words with Friends on an airplane. So who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's not a dick. I'm just saying, like, he's known throughout Hollywood to have a short temper, but
and this time
there's a difference between
short.
screaming at a paparazzi or bitching a flight attendant out and shooting someone in the face, you know?
Yeah. All right. So this next story I want to talk about, Terry actually wanted to talk about it. And it was a really good article. We share all our stuff, so make sure you go back and check out this ProPublica article. But Alaska has a serious discrimination problem overall. Like, it goes back to a couple of things. Basically, they're mincing words with equal opportunity language with regard to trans people. They're trying to exclude them. But another thing, and the reason why I made it such a general discrimination problem is because they were also saying in the article that people that are on their own Human Rights Commission have left the Human Rights Commission because of discrimination there. So who's to blame? Why is Alaska rampant with discrimination and failure to protect those being discriminated against?
Go ahead, Riley.
I'll tell you who's to blame. Right here.
Is that a Hooters?
Yeah.
You know, actually, I made that point about the Tennessee law that we're going to discuss in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But that was because Tennessee has basically banned drag shows in any public spaces throughout, and they cite the sexuality aspect of it. Well, we don't want our kids exposed to sexuality. I was like, okay, so you're going to close down the Hooters in Tennessee, right? Well, no, but what the fuck is that then?
Yeah,
I don't think you're afraid of the sexuality. I think you're afraid of some people's sexuality. But
well, maybe if the drag shows had paid for Red Zone, they'd be okay with it. That's the difference.
Well, you shouldn't take your kids to Hooters. Well, it doesn't matter, because if you take them to a ball game, there's always Hooters getting girls walking around there, cheerleaders. How about that?
why do y'all think Alaska has such a problem with discrimination, guys?
I've been to Alaska many times. I love it there. But it is a red state. It is probably one of the reddest states.
Sarah Palin.
Yeah, Sarah Palin. But no, it's very much it's a northern state with a southern attitude. You know, most of the people that choose to live there are pretty hard, rough dudes, and it's 5-to-1, I believe, men to women. So they're a bunch of roughneck, pent up dudes that enjoy hunting and fishing and, you know, living off the land and
can't stand trans people.
I don't. I don't even know if it's trans community in specifically.
That's, I mean,
They're not,
okay, Riley.
it's more xenophobia. It's just anybody who's different is
The
bad.
thing is on this, right? It was done like the language taking, the protection of trans rights out was done right during an election, right? By this conservative governor who appointed a lieutenant general who then had to resign or was fired because he was a pedo. He was looking at child porn or something. But then they don't want to give trans people's rights when it comes to, they have to do it when it comes to employment, but they don't want to do it when it comes to housing, fair housing and other things.
They don't have to do it when it comes to employment, by the way.
In Alaska. But when it comes to the federal government, you'd always have a claim under that. But
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Because each state has their own equivalent EEOC, which is the Commission on Human Rights.
Right. And we're going to talk about this when we get to a few articles from now. So, because my home state's also squirreling around with that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything else to add, Riley?
I mean, if you move to Alaska, you already hate yourself, so it's not a surprise that you'd hate everyone else too.
That's not untrue, because I would never live in Alaska. My brother lived in Alaska for a number of years, but that's just because he worked on one of the oil platforms.
My family lived in Alaska, but it was because they had to, because my grandpa was in the military. But I mean, I guess
there's big military presence up there too.
You do hate yourself if you move to Alaska. You know who else is hating themselves this week? Hailey Bieber.
Nice transition.
Here we go with this.
So I am obsessed with this Hailey Bieber Selena Gomez drama, and who's to blame, y'all? I don't know. I'll tell y'all. I'll break it down.
You explained this to me yesterday for a good solid 15 minutes, and I still don't care. I still just don't
care. But why?
Care
Why
any
is
of this?
Everyone so obsessed? Like, it's just become like a dominating topic of pop culture discussion online. Why do y'all think
that you say everyone?
Why do y'all think that is?
I know.
Why?
I know exactly why it is. Right here.
He had these queued up to put them out there. Yeah, it's 9/11's fault. That's what it is.
I see. No, but seriously, why do we focus on this bullshit? Like Terry says, he doesn't care. Look, I don't care. I didn't. Hailey Bieber, Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber, those are after my time. Those were like Disney tween stars. But that's one aspect is, I think for whatever reason, Americans love to obsess over these Disney celebs like Britney Spears.
Leave Britney alone.
They say Britney ain't even alive anymore, and there's just some impersonator that.
Did you see the last video? The last one she posted with like she's like jumping up and down, just all over.
No, I started reading those conspiracies too, and it got me a little shook. I'm like, oh my God, what if Britney really is dead? And why are they doing this? So I don't know.
They also got a horrible impersonator if she is dead. Like if she dies and they go, let's get an impersonator, get one that doesn't make her.
Yeah, but they've got the impersonator, but then they're like superimposing her face on to the. It's just weird.
Right, but so the impersonator is doing a garbage job because everybody's like, hey, this isn't Britney.
Yeah, exactly. Especially Britney fans, real Britney fans. Another reason I think I'm obsessed with this story, and for those of you that are watching and that don't care or do care, basically Selena used to date Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber's married to Hailey Bieber now. The internet was roasting Hailey Bieber because she is a single white female. And that is what caught my attention. That's why I was like, "Ooh, this is a good story," because this bitch is copying Selena like crazy. She's like getting the same tattoo behind her ear. She tattooed Justin's ring that he gave to Selena on her finger. She just does really crazy shit up until yesterday. If Selena posts something, Selena posted a picture of her as a child And then Haley has to do the same thing a few days later. So I think that's what got me specifically interested, was the single white female aspect of this whole drama.
Yeah,
But
she's famous for being famous. So it's like if she doesn't do shit like that, people are gonna forget who she is. Like Selena Gomez is doing other stuff, but
Yeah.
Haley Bieber isn't like doing anything. So
Yeah.
so she's got to like post like sub tweets and stuff, and then get her
Yeah.
name news.
you think she would just coast off her dad shooting somebody, but
That wasn't her dad.
I thought she was Alec Baldwin's daughter.
She's
Like
not
a
even that
uncle.
famous. She's Stephen Baldwin's daughter.
Hmm.
She's the much less.
We'll find that her uncle shooting somebody.
At least she's
on
not
set.
Daniel's daughter, but no, I'm just kidding. But still, like, her fame comes from nepotism, and then again from being married to Justin Bieber. And then so I go down this rabbit hole of this story, and then I never knew that Justin was so crazy about Selena. Like, he has a tattoo on his arm about her, or like a picture of her, and he's always showing it in pictures of that he takes with Haley. The theory is that he doesn't even love Haley. He's not, like, nobody knows why they're married. He doesn't even like her. She was just a swim fan. Have y'all ever seen the movie Swim Fan, where they're like a stalker?
No.
Yeah, she's.
But that's when you compared it to single white female, I was like, yeah, but Haley married the guy you're talking about. Like, she already won. Why would, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but in single white female, it wasn't over a guy. It was over the girl. And that's
Well,
what
I
another
get it.
theory. That's what another theory with this drama is that, because this dates back so far, that Haley was always just obsessed with Selena. So like she, liked Selena, and she wasn't into Justin Bieber until Selena dated Justin Bieber. Then she became a believer. She hung out with Selena, and Selena stopped hanging out with her because her friend ended up making out with Justin while they were out with Selena or something. And then it transitions to her trying to take Justin, and then the obsession never stops. It's like you say, like, she did win the prize if Justin's the prize, but if Justin's not the prize, what is?
So you're theorizing that she never had Bieber fever at all.
No, I think she's obsessed with Selena. In love with, obsessed with, crazy about. Like, she's.
Well, if you were, that doesn't make any sense to me, because because she was friends with Selena Gomez first, and if you're obsessed with Selena Gomez, you don't burn the bridge by dating her ex or whatever.
Well, she didn't burn the bridge first. You know who did is and that's another aspect to this all. So Kendall Jenner and Kylie Jenner Kardashian. Selena was on a break with Justin. They all go to Coachella. Kendall, Kylie, and Haley went. Selena catches Kendall in the bed with Justin. And then they stopped hanging out.
Classic mix up. They were just taking a nap. No big deal.
I hope that all the people that you just mentioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I could put half of those people in one private jet and another half of those people in another private jet, I hope those two jets run into each other in the sky.
Wow, what they do to you? Damn.
The fact that they exist, it bothers me.
Leave Selena out of it. The Jenner,
I'm gonna put it right in it.
You give her a parachute at least.
No.
Don't do Selena like that. But
Go, Selena.
yeah, that's the other thing. Like, they all seem like mean girls. It's all started, like, people started going down this rabbit hole about the Haley stalking Selena after Selena has lupus. She picked up a little weight, gets caught photographed swimming, and then Haley, Kendall, and some other chick post a TikTok, and they're like, I'm not saying she deserved it, but God's timing is always right. Like, kind of bullying Selena.
Why stop at lupus? Let's give her AIDS too while we're at it.
My conspiracy is that
You're a
they
horribly
gave her
unhappy
lupus.
person, Harry Wayne. What'd you say?
I think that's the real conspiracy. Is they're the ones that gave her lupus.
You don't get
There you
lupus
go.
like
Start that conspiracy.
You don't
Yeah.
get
You
lupus
could be the
This
QAnon
is
shaman.
ground
Why do I keep
zero.
believing what Riley is saying? I'm like, explain your position. Like, you can't get lupus that way. Okay,
I don't know how
stop.
to get lupus, but I'm sure.
You know
like
why I
Baldwin has
hate these
access.
people? I hate these
They're
people
rich,
because
and you're
they're
a poor.
no. I know plenty of rich people. They're great. It all seems so self-important and self-aggrandizing and arrogant and narcissistic. It's like, all right, you made some music. Good for you, Selena. Good for you, Justin. Now please take your money and kindly fuck off.
And stop
Who
making
gives
it.
a shit? And
It's
the
not,
Jenners,
you know what? It's
the
not.
Jenners can go with them too. You made your money. Good. Glad for
My only
you.
point is Selena didn't do anything wrong here. She just is existing. She's just trying to be happy, and these people won't stop fucking.
She plays that same game,
Haley
puts out her
would
little
drive by
revenge
her
songs
house,
and all
pick
that.
us
Like,
up.
like we're all supposed to be fucking fascinated with your stupid life. All right, I'm not. I don't care.
I don't
You
think
could
she-
live to be 100 or die tomorrow.
She
It's
seems
not
like a
changing.
genuinely nice person. She came from poverty to where she's at now. So I don't
Great,
think
great, and
He's
I'm glad
the one-
you're successful.
the videos I
Take all
see.
your money and kindly fuck off.
he's like, so you're a better person.
Yeah, but she also has lupus.
Thank you.
So does Kim Wapaya. So
I don't even know what lupus is.
So does my cousin, but so
it's an autoimmune disease.
yeah, it's rough. So she's dealing
It's
with it.
manageable.
Anyway, Haley would make Justin drive by Selena's house when Selena was supposed to be in rehab just to make sure she was in rehab.
He probably put her there. Conspiracy
Who
theory number
cares?
5.
That bitch is crazy. We care. It's good drama. It's good tea. And
I think you care.
no, just because you are like, you don't care about pop culture. I'm just saying it's dominating the pop culture topics right now. So
I follow pop culture, yes, but this is deeper than that. This is real celebrity paparazzi page 6 shit. Like you're getting deep into it.
National Enquirer.
Yeah, exactly.
you know who else is getting deep into it? Governor Randy or Lieutenant Governor Randy McNally of Tennessee, where Terry's going soon.
My
He
home state.
busted commenting on a gay Instagram model's post and has since apologized. Who's to blame, guy?
Did he apologize? Because that's not what I saw. In the interview, he says,
He apologized because the gay Instagrammer was like, you didn't have to apologize.
Well, from what I saw, he has now said he interacts with whoever he wants to online on social media, and he has no plans to stop.
Well, this was as of March 10th. So on the 10th, he apologized for commenting on dozens. And that's the thing, guys. It wasn't just a gay Instagram model. It was racy photos.
Oh, yeah. No, it was definitely thirst traps. And his staff said, oh, sometimes he uses emojis and doesn't realize what he means. They're trying to pawn it off like, oh, old timer. No.
He
There
says
there was an ass shot. There was an ass shot on there. And he put 3 hearts and 3 fire emojis. That motherfucker knew exactly what he was saying.
He knew what he was saying, but he's fucking like 80 years old. He had no idea it was like public. He was probably
that's the other thing.
That's
from a verified account.
Yeah.
He says, Finn, you can turn a rainy day into rainbows and sunshine. You are always so nice, King.
That's surprisingly pleasant for what you'd think he thought a personal message was. Like when you first sent me that article, I was like, oh,
I think so, because
really
he sent it from his official Lieutenant Governor blue check account. Like,
why? It's just like this was why did he apologize? Why do y'all think he apologized?
Because he got
he
caught.
didn't. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he did, Terry. I don't know what you're talking about. You don't read what I send you?
I did read what you sent me, but I also read the
first
interview he gave this weekend.
The first sentence is Tennessee Lieutenant Governor apologized for commenting on dozens of racy Instagram photos. And the title is, y'all tell me, does Terry fucking read what I sent him? The title is Gay Instagram Says Tennessee Lawmaker Shouldn't Be Embarrassed of Liking Racy Photos.
Well, that's not apology.
In that interview, Franklin McClure says it's sad that Lieutenant Randy McNally felt the need to apologize for commenting on McClure's semi-nude photos.
Yeah, I don't think he felt. I don't think he needed to apologize. He's just perving out on Instagram, doing his thing. He's like pushing 100 there. That's what he does.
Yeah, and it's that what's sad is that he has to be in the closet with that. He can't just be a Republican
Well,
lawmaker.
not anymore. He's out
No.
now.
What's sad is he's persecuting people for doing the exact same thing that he's doing behind the closed doors.
Behind the closet.
Yeah, he's all the way behind the closet.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw this, I just got joy. And if you see the cute little guy that he was commenting on, the guy's like wearing makeup and like has like his shirt off and I guess some ass shots. And this governor, and he's like probably 19. So this guy likes young guys too. It's just
Well, yes.
totally
And
scandalous.
in the
Totally.
article I read on it, he describes himself as very gay, quote unquote, very gay.
He
Does
looks
this-
like he's very gay. McNally posted more than 80 comments on McClure's Instagram account from early June 2020. Oh my God. With his initial comments more like pep talks in response to McClure's post about his life and mental health. So
I don't think it was a pep talk.
No.
When he said the words, "You're helping me keep it up."
he said
It is
he says McClure described himself as a hoe and says he performed sex acts for free marijuana, and McNally liked it. Oh my God.
yeah, and then he said, well, I didn't read the whole thing. And the interviewer said, well, did you see the part where he said he's a hoe? And he goes, well, I may have seen that part.
This dude was 17 when he was posting, and McNally was commenting on it. And he voted in favor, like Terry said, of a bill criminalizing fucking drag performances. And this cute little tween has makeup on, and man, that's so fucked up. I mean, I could see the guy that he's commenting on being a drag queen one day because of how he's doing his makeup.
They said in that article that he's a aspiring performer, I think is what it was. So
well, then yeah, he's gonna be.
I'm sure that's gonna be one of the avenues he goes down. But Tennessee has been rolling back stuff like this, and this is why I said we get back to it, because we're looking at places to move to up there outside of Nashville. And as I'm going through, Zillow has this section on there, and it specifically about discrimination rights or discrimination protections. And as of what I've read, Tennessee has no protections for LGBTQ community when it comes to housing, employment. So yeah, going to a real open-minded place. It's kind of gave me a moment of pause. I'm like, well, there's a big cultural difference here, man.
go Bulls.
Yeah, you're.
My cousin played for them.
You're a white cis male. You'll be fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know.
That is a good spot. Tennessee. That makes sense. My girlfriend lives in Tennessee.
Yeah, but my wife is an 8th Black, so we're gonna have to find out what kind of
White passing, it's fine.
okay, yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Just gonna have to make sure
who else
Grandpa
is
doesn't
white
visit.
passing? Riley Edwards, and that's because he is white. Welcome to the BlameGirl podcast, Riley. Thank you for being
excessively white passing.
I did not ask you how you wanted to be introduced. I usually do that, but I've been out of practice for a couple of weeks. Do you have a particular way you like to normally go, like be introduced?
By name?
Just Riley Edwards, nothing else?
No credits. I don't have anything.
No credits. Okay.
No good credits.
That's insane because you're very good. You should have some credits. How long have you been doing this?
6 years now. Jeez.
How old are you?
26.
Okay. How did you get your start?
Marine 84. Remember that place? It's down
do.
Kel Thompson used to run at Fort Lauderdale.
Hard
when
to
it was
forget it.
underneath 95. Yeah.
Like from Keenan and Kel?
No, Kel
No,
Thompson.
Kel Thompson was a comedian before your
Yeah, but Kel
time.
Thompson worked with Keenan, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Is it the same?
No, it's not the same person.
No, I know it's the same person.
I'm telling her.
Okay, so that you got your start there. Like, so what? You would go and watch, and then you're like, I'm gonna do that, or did you just say, I want to do that and find that mic and go that night?
No, that's what it was. I was just like, wanted to do stand up like for a few months, and I was working at Publix, and I was like, all right, let me find a place, and I looked up stand up, and I ended up there.
What made you want to get into it?
I was working at Publix, and I just dropped out of college. I was like, I gotta do something.
Nice, nice. What were you studying in college?
Marketing, and now I'm back. Now I'm almost done.
Did you go back and get into like studying something more geared towards excelling your career in comedy, or did you finish marketing?
No, I did marketing. I was in. I did.
Marketing is important actually in this field. You know, you got to market yourself.
Yeah, the problem is I didn't learn anything. So my marketing is still garbage. Personal branding, whatever.
And what school is this? Just so I know to never go there.
This is a local institution, FAU.
Mm.
Yeah, go Owls.
Stay away from the owls.
Are you gonna move out of here once you graduate, or?
It's a plan. I want to go to New York, but I also like being here still.
Yeah. What
Plenty
about
of marketing jobs in New
your
York.
girlfriend's in Tennessee, huh?
Yeah. She just moved up there in like February.
Terry's about to move out there.
Yeah.
But so what's been, since you've been performing, you said 6 years, you got your start here in Florida, I take it.
Yeah.
And so what has been your favorite venue to perform at? And you can't say
The Improvs.
No, I wouldn't. The Improvs.
Doesn't matter. It's too easy. Everybody would pick.
Not that I don't like the Improvs, I just never do them. But damn, I remember like a few years ago, I haven't been there in a while. They stopped booking me like post COVID, I guess. But Villain Theater used to be like one of my favorite spots to do.
same.
It's been mentioned a lot on here.
Yeah, and then there were recently the Don't Tell rooms that Dan and Minda and Dean have been putting me on. Been a lot of fun. I mean, they're packing those things out, and it's like packing them out like 60 people or whatever, but they bring their own chairs and they'll just set them up like rows, and people go fucking nuts. It's like BYOB at a gym. They don't even know, like, they're like, we paid tickets, might as well have fun. And they're there. It's like a
Well,
weird.
they do pay for tickets to get in, but just know you don't have to buy drinks or anything. And nice.
Yeah, their own stuff.
So Villain Theater, I guess.
Oh, and then Funky Buddha, of course, but Funky Buddha's defunct now. It's just called
Unfortunately.
Meatballs, whatever. Yeah. Have you
Mad
seen the
robots.
place it is?
Yeah.
I wonder what it is now, because it's been through a couple of changes since Alan sold it from it being Mad Robot. So have you traveled doing comedy?
Hang on a sec. My dad's banging on my door. So I still live with my fucking parents, so not enough.
Okay.
All right. A little dead air.
Boo.
At least he let the Hooters girls on there.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Fan favorite.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What did Dad want?
It's garbage night.
You need to run. You got to go take the garbage. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's fine. They don't get it till the morning anyway. I forget half the freaking time.
So I know, I feel like I've seen you traveling to do comedy. Where all have you traveled?
Let's see. When I was doing Gold Coast with Nick and Connie, Nick Mesa, Connie Fernandez, I was around like a lot of Florida. Like we're doing like going up to the Panhandle. Or is this the which part is Florida's the Panhandle? Is it the top part or is it the part?
Yeah,
The
like
top part.
Pensacola.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We're going up to the Panhandle. And then what else? New York, New Jersey is Danny Braff. You guys know Danny, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Books me. Like if I go up there, he'll put me on like a couple things. And then yeah. I've never been out like West Coast or anything like that though.
Yeah.
Always want to check it out.
Where do you want to go?
New York that's the most fun I had. I was there for a little bit and it was fun. But
You feel like that's your crowd, your market?
I just like those kind of rooms that are like small and you like pack in like not a ton of people. Like you just get like a decent amount of people in a small room. And those are like always the most fun for stand up. And then New York has
Oh, for sure. 100%. Yeah, the bigger the room, the less fun it becomes. I agree with that.
I mean, if you're doing like, like that's what you say, like improv, and there's like a ton of people. Yeah, that is fun too. But like a lot of the, like in here, especially like big rooms, it's tough to like sell them out like at a bar show. So you get a lot of those, like Florida has those, especially those like warehouse bars, like the warehouse, like, and then it's like, it's huge. Like the places are enormous. The ceilings are like super high because I got up at the stills and crap in the back or whatever's going on, however they make the shit. And you get like a huge echo, and then it's like people don't even like, they're not like, they're not all.
Yeah, Lake Worth comes to mind on that.
Mm.
Lake Worth, parts of Delray.
All right. So what has been your favorite moment, or your proudest moment as a comic?
I wish I had one. I don't know. I wish I had like a cool, like, it was like crowd surfing or something crazy, but it's never
It doesn't have to be that,
Just, good. There's good shows and there's bad shows, and all the good ones, I mean, they tally up. You feel good about them.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a show, just, a moment. What was your proudest moment?
Oh man.
And we've gotten all kind of answers, like, just people being like, one time I made this one person laugh. Like, it's what just stands out.
That's a bummer. That's a huge bummer.
Why is that a huge bummer?
This time I made one person laugh.
Well, yeah.
Because they were
if that person is Jerry Seinfeld,
yeah, or that person was really struggling with something and sad, and they turned around their whole mood. Like,
yeah.
I'm just saying,
or somebody that mentored you or in the beginning, and then you made them laugh, and you're like, it's a small little victory, but it's enough to keep going. I mean, it's a tough business.
I guess it's
with someone really cool. Like,
no, I never got to perform with anyone super cool. I don't get a lot of opening gigs, but I think probably not my favorite time doing it, but probably the most, the best time for me was the third time I did it, because the first time I did it, I was so drunk I didn't realize I was bombing. And the second time I went up sober and I bombed so hard that I didn't do it for like 6 months. So I like quit. And then the third time I was like, all right, let me go back and try it again. And then I tried it again and I did all right. And then I kept going from there. So that was an important one.
All right. All right. So who is if you had to say what your comedic style was, who would you mention? Whose bracket are you in? What's your
my shtick?
Purview. Yeah, what's your shtick? What's your purview?
When I don't do it anymore, but when I first started, I used to rip Jesselnick like super hard, and people would call me out for it, and I was like, really, really like leaning into it, and I was like, that was the whole style, and I was like, I thought that was so funny. And then Trey Maddox, remember Trey Maddox?
I do.
I got off a Funky Buddha like probably like one of my first like 10 or so times doing it, and he goes, give it up for Anthony Jeselnik, everybody, but like in like a bad way because I just ate shit.
Damn.
I gotta like find something. I gotta like tell jokes in my own style. It was pretty bad.
How did you develop your own style? How did you come to that?
You just keep, I don't know, I just keep going up. I mean, 6 years, it's like if you don't have a voice of your own, it's then you're like looking to like a singular comic too much. I feel like watching different stand-ups, keeps you eclectic, if you will. I think.
I think that
you think because that's interesting, because some comics won't watch it because they think it'll influence them too much. But you're saying if you do, make sure you diversify who you're watching.
Yeah, well, I always cite whenever people give me shit for bringing, because I still bring my notes on the stage like all the time. I always have my notebook with me, and whenever people give me shit for that, I always cite Gerard Carmichael's Love at the Store, where he busted out his notes in the middle of a special, and I go, he's taking the stigma away. He's destigmatizing the notes.
Yeah. What has been your biggest challenge doing comedy?
Probably the autism.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
It's not.
Stop it.
Why?
Okay, stop. Because I just believed you. I was like, oh, okay. How do you
You believe me?
how do you work around that? Yeah, I believe you could probably be autistic.
Oh, I
Sorry.
don't mean my autism. I mean all the other comics autism.
Oh my God. No, but seriously, what's been your biggest challenge? Just like socializing with comics?
Yeah, socializing is horrible for me. That's a nightmare. There was this is funny.
And
This
you're
is,
not autistic? Okay, go ahead.
yeah, that's fair. But last Friday I did a show with Drilla, and we got, I mean, it was 2 Fridays ago. I don't know, whatever. It was like a week and a half ago. And we got off stage. Everybody had a good set. We walk outside, and it's one of the Don't Tell shows, and everybody's talking, and people are going up to him, people are going up to me, people are going up to other comics on the show. And I went up to him because they were like they all stayed to talk. And I went up to him, I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I was like, this is too much. This is, and he's like, he just left.
So it's the socializer for you. You don't like it.
I mean, that's not the hardest part. The hardest part is getting up. I mean, it's terrifying. Still,
How do you write? Do you practice writing every day, or like what is your writing procedure as a comic?
I try to do it as much as I can. I'm also lazy, and then I'll go on like huge parts where I feel like I can't write anything good. So, to say I have before would maybe be a stretch, but I don't know. It's good. It's just good to go to like mics. Like I've been going to that Bruise Room mic occasionally. It's just like get stuff out there. I notice that it helps more to tell it, like, because sometimes I'll write something and I'll just be like, oh, do I think this is funny the next day? And if I don't, I won't even tell it. But it's like the audience might like it, even if I don't like it. So just because I write something.
So how many mics do you do about a week?
No, not even one. I'm, like I said, I'm lazy as fuck about it. I'll try to put together a book show. I mean, if I don't have a show together that week, then I'll do a mic. So like I try to do it at least once a week, but I'd usually probably end up around 2 times a week.
I would love that. It's hard because I'm trying to force myself to go less. Like tonight, I did want to go to Spanx and I have new jokes. I have a bunch of new jokes I want to work on. And, you're only limited to 5 minutes. So I find myself wanting to be out because I write so much. I want to go out and try them and like immerse them into my sets and stuff like that. So,
But you don't hate doing them. Like, I feel like when I read a new joke, I'm like, oh, wait till like, because like Spanx is a tough place to test stuff out and then feel like you got something done. Like Spanx is like, I'll go to Spanx if I'm like, it's Monday night and I just want to do something.
No, I'll do it at all the rooms. Like I'll go all week and I'll keep trying it out, and drop it if I need to, or fix it if I need to, maybe punch it up. It'd be like a week work in progress. I won't just try it at Spanx. But that's why I do multiple mics, because I write and I want to
punch it
hit
up,
the joke to the point to where I can put it in a set and actually tell it at a show, So
you ever tell stuff on shows just
sometimes, definitely. I do a lot. I do it every time because I always write a joke there about the venue or something, like about the place. Maybe like last show I did Corey Cognac's new room, the Flamingo Room, and
oh yeah, the big like theater kind of looking thing, yeah.
And I just did a joke about about Fort Lauderdale because I was in Fort Lauderdale, So like I try to like do something and then I'll do my set. But it also depends on how much time I have. But even if I don't have a lot of time, I'm still gonna try to like 10 minutes. I'm still trying to suck the crowd in, like, oh, Miami Beach, this, that, or the other, I'll write something real quick. But as for like jokes I'm working on, I don't usually add those until I'm done working on those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's a show. But and I like what you said about the notebook, because I mean, people do judge you for bringing a notebook. People judge you for all kinds of stuff. Like
audience members will say so. I did Brass Monkey years ago and I pulled out my notebook and a person in the crowd goes, wow, real professional. I'm like, what do you give a fuck? You didn't even pay for these tickets.
Yeah,
I love that it was at the Brass Monkey.
Yeah,
and then it was just like someone watching. It was you get it from comics like crazy. Like I know Patrice, artist Treese, she was like she hates when people take their phones, and I'm just like, yo, this is an open mic. First of all, I'm bringing my notes, but yeah, I got to the point to where on shows, I'm not gonna use my notes on a show, but that's because I
It makes
already
you
have
stronger
trouble
to
getting
not.
booked. I don't need to add anything else to, why people won't book me because they are like
Well,
that.
you're handicapping yourself too, because it's a crutch, and it makes you stronger when you're forced to do it, when you're forced to remember, because I think we've all forgotten something on stage, or had that moment of panic where you're moving on to the next thing. And you're like, oh, what came next? You got to think that that's like working out for an athlete. You're working it out, trying to build that muscle memory. So it's not that whether bringing notes on stage is good or bad. It's just getting you to the point where you don't have to, because it's so robotic at that point. And it's so you have that muscle memory. Just go from one thing to the next, to the next.
All right, Riley, tell us about yourself individually. Like, what do you do? Like, I know you mentioned being in college. Where are you from? Do you have a day job? We know you live with your parents and you have a girlfriend. And also, do you have any like projects you're working on, like podcasts or
His girlfriend that lives in Canada.
Yeah, she goes to a different school. You guys don't know her.
Mhm.
I've never seen your girl. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, tell us about you a little bit.
Jeez. I mean, yeah, I was born and raised Florida. I don't know. Stand up's
You're a
like all
Florida
like,
man.
oh, and I play foosball. I love playing fucking foosball.
Foosball?
Yeah.
Really?
I
Out of
play,
all
yeah,
the
I play,
things,
I play local
foosball.
tournaments like almost twice a week. I mean, I was doing it twice a week for a while, and then I was like really slacking on the stand up, and I was like, I gotta like go to like the Brews Room one or something. So I was like, then I like slowed it down to once a week, but I'm still like, I'm hooked really
Yeah.
bad. Like I play it all the time.
Okay. Well, you want to be a foosball king or you want to be a comedian? No, I'm just- All right. But do you do anything else? Do you do clubs? Do you do podcasts? Just
No,
shows?
I don't. Yes,
All right.
I'm not organized enough to put together a podcast.
All right.
See, that marketing degree is really coming in handy.
Mhm. Yeah, it's so weird because
Yeah, I gotta get my money back.
all right, so you are so young and you are so good at comedy. Who's to blame, Riley?
I don't know.
Anthony Jeselnik.
Yeah, yeah, let's do it. No, well, Trey Maddox, because he made me stop doing Jeselnik.
All right, that's a good play. That's a good play. He said Trey Maddox because he got him in line.
Yeah, Trey did help me out a lot early. He left like pretty quick after I started, but he did show me a ton of stuff when I first started.
Do you talk to him still?
No, I haven't talked to him in a long time, but he would hook me up with a lot of stuff, and he put me on he got me like on like a bringer show like really early without bringing 10 people, and then I was like, oh man, he likes me, whatever. And then he moved, or he had something going on. But yeah, he was cool.
Do you have any upcoming shows you want to tell everybody about?
What's like well, I guess I'm doing Don't Tell, but I don't even know where that is yet, so I can't plug that one.
Can't tell.
They don't tell me yet. I don't know. Oh, maybe, I don't know. And then the other one I have is I want to say it's the 21st. Yeah, 21st at Shamrock Comedy Club. That's Fort Lauderdale. Brian Wright's room.
Okay.
Mark
21st at
Vieira.
Oh, that's a good room. Do you want to give out your social media?
Yeah, sure. It's my Instagram is Riley.e and then an underscore. It's a real pain in the ass to type in. That's the marketing degree at work again. I can't even
Yeah,
come with a
nailed it.
convenient handle. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's all I use is Instagram.
No TikTok, no Facebook. Okay.
Yeah, I don't post enough on TikTok.
Twitter.
No, I haven't tweeted in years, and I don't want people to read all my lame high school jokes.
Terrible at marketing this one. Yeah, he's just on Instagram. Okay. All right. Well, I guess that'll do it for interviewing Riley. Hang around, Riley. We're gonna listen to what Terry Wayne has to say. He has some words for white people, and you are white people, so hang in there.
So I gotta stick around.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Well,
Terry.
no, this week it's words for all people this week. Because I was sitting there in that church on Sunday, and which, maybe 400 people in attendance, and listening to the stories about our friend Chris Priester, listening to the kids he coached come up and his community activism that he did, and with his partners from his nonprofit organization and people from the school board and elected officials and this and that. It got me to thinking about legacy. So we're going to talk about legacy on this one. And legacy is important because, we all just have this little, 80 years if you're lucky, 90 years if you're lucky. That's that's our chance to say whatever we got to say, do whatever we're going to do. You just have that time. And I think on our day-to-day lives, we tend to forget about that just because the milieu of daily life and grinding through and just get it paid and get to next month and this and that. We tend to miss the forest for the trees on that, because I was truly kind of moved when I saw all that. Because here's a guy who we know as a comedian, as a headliner, as a guy who's made his way in comedy, but we tend to not see everything else. And the everything else to me was way more important and way more impressive than his comedy ever was. So when you're thinking about your daily life, yeah, I know it sucks and it's a grind, but try not to miss the big picture, because somebody's going to write your eulogy one day. What are they going to have to say about you? What are they going to have to look back on? Who's going to come and speak at your funeral? And I think it's dramatically important to keep that in mind, not just for ego's sake that you have a good funeral or service or something like that, but just your impact on the world. It doesn't just have to be comedy. It doesn't just have to be your job. It doesn't just have to be your family. It can be all of those things. So take as many irons as you can and put them in every fire you can find. Will it be more stressful? Yes. But will it be more rewarding? Yes. So just keep that in mind as you're grinding along daily, and do something you love, or help somebody in a situation that you would hate to be in or you're sympathetic to. And, keep the waters churning, man, because you got like that 80 years and it goes by faster than you think. So keep your legacy in mind.
Absolutely. Terry Wayne coming through with the words on mortality this week. And rightfully so. Yeah, I agree. I did get to watch a little bit of it on Facebook, and I remember Chris talking about all his, work for the community that he did do. So I kind of knew something about that, but I think something stuck out to me that you said the other day or yesterday, and that was just like that the whole county came out for this man, and he was just beloved by his county for many reasons, whether it be the charity work, whether it be the teaching, whether it be the comedy. And yeah, he had a good homecoming and he will be missed. So those were great words. All right, Terry, you got anything coming up?
Nope.
Your birthday, huh? That's it.
Oh yeah. I guess my birthday's on Friday.
You said you're going to try to get a show in before you left town. Are you still working on that, or?
Yeah, I still got almost a month to do that, make that happen. So.
All right. I got, what were you saying?
So when are you going to Tennessee?
Early April, around the 13th, I'll be leaving.
All right. I have a show, but it's not till the 21st. So I'll tell you all about it again next week. But I'm at Little Brittany next Tuesday in Miami. So but until next week, we'll see y'all later.